Hello everybody and welcome to the Homestead's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Today I want to discuss with you the benefits of using wood ash in your garden. So this that I have here in this bucket is hardwood ash and semi-hardwood. It's not recommended that you use the ash from any other types of trees, softwoods or coal or anything like that. This specifically relates to using good old-fashioned hardwood ashes. So this is about 4 or 5 days worth of burning that I've got out of my wood stove in my house. So this is a free resource and something you can use instead of just throwing it into the garbage or your green bin. Definitely worth a second thought, as it's a free resource and something that your plants will definitely benefit from. Some of the benefits of wood ash are that it contains elements such as phosphorus, potassium, there's calcium and boron, including other trace elements that are going to aid in your plant growth and development. But it does not contain nitrogen, which is the staple that most people go to when trying to amend their soil, when trying to fix the soil and increase plant growth. So basically what's going to happen if you use wood ash in your garden is that you're going to have an increase in pH. So the garden itself, the soil itself, is going to become less acidic or more alkaline or base, however you say it. So I'm just going to spit out a quick list here of some of the plants that you do not want to use your hardwood ash around. So do not use near blueberries or potatoes. I know it causes scabbing on potatoes if the pH is too high, and blueberries just won't produce the same. Same with blackberries, cranberries, parsley, peanuts, and raspberries. So that's a short list, but those are a lot of the things that people are growing in and around this area and some of the stuff that I grow personally. So it's a good idea to keep your wood ash away from those plants. Plants that prefer a higher pH, which you can see I grow a lot of right here just in this little shot. Beets, beans, broccoli, cabbage, asparagus, cauliflower, celery, chives, cilantro, kale, leeks, lettuce, onions, parsnips, peas, radish, rhubarb, sage, spinach, squash, sunflower, Swiss chard, and tomatoes are all plants that are going to definitely benefit from the wood ash that you would otherwise be throwing away. You know, the one thing you can do if you're really concerned is you can go and you can get your soil tested. If you have a pH that's 7 or higher, then I would not recommend using your wood ash, the wood ash in your garden. But another indicator, if you don't want to pay to have your soil tested, is to look around your yard and see what grows in your yard. So I have a ton of clover that grows in my yard. So that tells me that my pH levels are pretty good. I mean, kind of right in the zone that I want them to be for all the stuff that I just rhymed off. But as this is the second year that I've grown most of these vegetables, kind of rotated in and around the same spot, but grown in the same areas based on the amount of light that they get in the day, I like to replenish with as much free stuff as possible. So some other uses, some quick uses that you can use the wood ash for. If you sprinkle it on your lawn, you're going to grow a lot more clover, which is going to, can't really see it now. I mean, we're into fall here in Canada, and the clovers really start to die off. But really, honestly, about half my front lawn here is covered in clover. But if you don't have a lot of clover growing, or you have a little bit, sprinkling the wood ash in and around your grass and providing it with a good soak after is really going to increase the growth of your clover, which is also a nitrogen fixing plant, and it also attracts pollinators, all kinds of pollinators, not just honeybees or bumblebees, but really if you pay attention, you'd see 7 or 8 different species of pollinators buzzing around your clover in spring and early summer. Another use is you can spread it back around the hardwood trees that you want to do well. I mean, that's not really something I would do. I have a lot of, you know, green stuff growing here that that could use this stuff, and the back part of our lot, the forest is a thriving ecosystem, so I don't really think that it needs a lot of input from me and the small amount of trees that we take. But as you can see over here, back over here, I have 4 apple trees and pear trees. So I'm definitely going to sprinkle some around them. It's a bit of a treat for them, but it's really going to be a moderate amount. The Tupperware container that I'm using to scoop the ash out here, when I measured it, it's just over 2 cups, like 2 1/3 or something. So you know, maybe one of those around each apple tree. But in the back I have cherries and plum, and they really do well in moderately alkaline conditions. And back there I really don't have a lot of clover growing. I don't know specifically what the soil's like. The plants all grew 8 to 10 inches to a foot, give or take, all the little branches. So they you know, they could, I'm gonna use it around them and just observe and see how it does. Okay, so here you can see these are my 4 apple trees that I have all lined up here. This is their 2nd full year in the ground, and they're doing really well. I just wanted to show you briefly what I'm gonna do. So here's the ash, very simple. I'm just gonna take one of these containers, and as I said, that's about 2 cups. And excuse me, I'm just gonna sprinkle it right around the base here. And you know, as it snows and rains and the precipitation comes down over the continuing fall season and into the winter, and the snows cover this all up, I'm pretty rest assured that this is going to all just be pushed down into the ground. Do the last couple over here. There we go. Yeah, so really there's not a lot to it, not much to it. I mean, you can see that I've used a lot of mulch around these trees too, and this is just to impede weed growth and to give the roots a good chance to take off and become established. So here now I have 3 pear trees, and again, it's recommended that you use a moderate amount. So 2 cups I think is pretty moderate. Last one over here. These guys are all doing really great. I'm really happy with them. There we go. Here we are. Okay, so just to summarize and wrap up here, I'm back over at the vegetable garden, and this here was lettuce. I've allowed a little bit of it to go to seed. Well, didn't really allow it, I just didn't pull it when it started, just to see if we can get some seeds out of that. Coupled with some radish here on the end, and then we have some kale and Swiss chard, again kale and another type of chard, and then here we have some turnip, beans, celery, and beans and beets over there. So this whole front section is going to receive probably about when that bucket, every week when that bucket's about full, I'm going to come out and I'm going to really lay it into each one of these beds, maybe half of one of those buckets per section here. And I've topped it up with compost and stuff, so this year they all seem to do pretty well. But there's my potatoes there. I'm probably going to move them next year a little further back, another row back. And there's some parsnips and carrots and cauliflower and broccoli and stuff like that. And the tomatoes and onions are over here. I'm probably going to move those over into this section, get them a little higher and drier as the garden slopes from right to left. But anyways, yeah, that's the video for today. I hope you found it useful. If you did, you could like, share, and subscriptions are always appreciated. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great day, folks.